Hi, and welcome to the Theme Park Duo podcast. Grab your park map, churro, and hop in line with us as we take you on a coast-to-coast adventure through the world of theme parks, haunts, conventions, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Nikki and Gabriel.
Hello, and welcome to another fun episode of the Theme Park Duo podcast. Nikki, it's our 5th episode.
Oh my goodness, time flies.
It does really fly. What is on your head?
It's Mickey ears.
Honestly, this isn't planned. I actually didn't notice it was on her head till now.
I just found them on the floor, so I decided to put them on. They're my Mickey ears with candy corn on them.
Very nice.
Well, now we have to post a picture of the ears because people are going to wonder.
Yeah, probably. So make sure you look at her social media. We'll post a picture of her silly Halloween Mickey ears that she decided to wear while we record, which is very distracting.
It's whimsical.
It's very whimsical.
Gotta have fun, Gabe.
I have fun, okay?
You have R2-D2 ears up there. You should just put them on.
I should put them on.
We'll both record with the ears on.
I know. I'm just going to wear one of your mini ears just because it stands out so much.
Do it.
Not right now. Moving on. We have quite a bit of news to cover today before we get to our main topic, which was a trip report to Shanghai Disney, which we have our wonderful friend Kevin joining us today. He should be coming in anytime soon, so we need to get through the news before he shows up.
Okay, let's go.
So let's just get into our segment, the Theme Park Bulletin. Well, so we'll start off this segment with some coaster news. So we have some news out of Germany. So we're crossing the pond this time. We're going all the way to Germany.
Whoa.
We're going to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, where they just announced a brand new roller coaster called Icon, which is kind of a cool name.
That's a fun name for a coaster.
And its like tagline is "Dare to Ride." Ooh. But after hearing some of the specs of this coaster, it's not really too much of a dare.
So is it cool for a European coaster?
I don't know, to be honest. But I'll read the details of this, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
So it's going to be the UK's first double-launched coaster, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And it's going to go 78 kilometers per hour, which is about 48 and a half, almost 50 miles per hour. It's going to be 1.14 kilometers in length, which is 0.7 of a mile for us. It's going to be built by Mack. It's going to have an 82-foot drop, and it's going to be opening in spring of 2018.
Cool.
So, I mean, it doesn't seem too intense.
Well, it doesn't go that fast, but that's a pretty good drop, right?
That is a really good drop. I'm surprised that it's not going faster.
Maybe they just didn't figure it out right, and it'll end up being a lot faster than they think it's going to be.
That's not good at all. That's bad engineering. But this coaster cost them £16.25 million, which is in U.S. currency, that's about $20 million. Whoa. A little bit over $20 million. It's a pretty expensive roller coaster. We'll see how it goes. It's in the very beginning, early stages, so they released a video of its kind of renderings and things like that. So moving forward, we'll get some news updates on the construction of Pleasure Beach's new coaster, Icon.
If anyone goes over there and rides it, give us a shout and tell us what it's like.
If we have any European listeners, let us know information about the construction and when it finally opens, which is spring 2018. But that's quite a whiles away. So hopefully we'll still be around by that time. Who knows?
Well, I know we will definitely be around for the next bit of news we have.
That's true. Mm-hmm. This one I know you're excited about.
I'm so excited. I'm sad that we're going to be in Orlando just a month before because this is only happening in Orlando. It is not happening in Universal Studios Hollywood. And what it is they're bringing Christmas to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah, this is actually some really cool news.
Yeah, so I'm excited. It's going to start in November, and they're going to have a whole bunch of Christmas decorations, and they're going to have a kind of a projection map light show on the Hogwarts Castle.
Yeah, so it's going to kind of bring to life moments from the film and with the music and everything. So it breathes light into something that, Universal Studios doesn't do that often, which is like a nighttime spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think this counts as a nighttime spectacular, but at least there's an offering, something for someone, something to watch as like the ending, the exclamation point to the night, you know?
Yeah, and that castle is really visible, so you can see it from like all over the place. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's not just going to be in Hogsmeade, it's also going to be in Diagon Alley as well.
Yeah.
And they're going to have live entertainment, decorations everywhere. You know, they Universal released a really good video describing everything with Mike Aiello, who works over there at Universal Studios Orlando. So you can check that out. You could also, we actually have it on our website, which is themeparkduo.com, so you can check out our post about that with all the fun information and the video, which even goes into more detail about more general Christmas offerings for the resort itself. The one thing that I think about when I think about Hogsmeade is the snow. It's already there.
Yeah.
So, like, whenever I go to Hogsmeade here in Hollywood...
When it's 100 degrees.
well, I feel like it's Christmas time all the time because it's snowing, because we live in California. So California doesn't really have seasons, and it doesn't really snow where we live in Los Angeles.
Well, neither does it snow in Florida.
Well, probably parts of Florida, maybe. I don't know. I have no clue.
I don't know.
I don't know weather patterns. I'm not Clark Kent. Wait, Clark Kent. Johnny Mountain or whatever his name is.
Dallas Raines.
Dallas Raines, yeah.
Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's Superman. He should know because he can fly up there. Anyway, I don't know. It feels like Christmas whenever I see snow because I'm not used to snow.
Us Californians definitely associate snow with Christmas because it's the only time we ever see it in any form. But
most Californians, because a lot of Californians are transplants and they come from another state where it does snow, or they go up to the mountains, because we do have mountains here in California where it snows. It just doesn't often snow where we live.
Yeah,
so that's what we're thinking about.
So they're going to make the already Christmassy Wizarding World of Harry Potter and make it even more Christmassy with garland and decorations and trees. And they even have food from the movies. It said in the video, from the movies that's kind of specific to Christmas time in the movies, and they're bringing that to the park.
Did you think I was looking at you like you were wrong?
No, I was just emphasizing where I heard the information. I was citing my sources.
Okay, thank you for citing your sources in the bibliography. Is that correct?
For an essay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, yeah. But moving on, we have some other fun news. Moving over to Disney, talking about Star Wars Land.
Star Wars Land. And this news came out of the Star Wars celebration in Florida that they just had.
Which I'm pretty jealous that a lot of people went to.
I know.
I would have loved to have gone.
It looks so cool. But this piece of news is pretty exciting. And they talked about the new Star Wars Land and how, for guests, it's going to be a little bit more of a personal experience than we're used to when we visit a Disney park. It's going to be interactive. The choices you make in the rides or in the park can kind of stay with you and affect your experience.
So, I mean, this kind of stems towards their Millennium Falcon attraction, where you will be piloting it. So it's not a passive experience where, like Star Tours, where you're sitting down and the picture happens and you move to it. You will be piloting it with your friends, and you could either get to your destination clean and scot-free, no scuffs, no marks, or the Millennium Falcon could be all scrapped up to hell. Mm-hmm. And those can have those decisions can have reactions by inhabitants of the land. So you can leave the attraction and yet still have an experience that's connected to your decisions through interactive characters and throughout the land, which is quite cool.
I'm wondering how they're gonna do it, though.
Probably RFID readers where it says, like, this person effed up their Millennium Falcon, and then the person scans it with some technology that's Star Wars related. I threw up air quotes, Star Wars related, and then they could see, blah, 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 blah.
Well, that'll definitely work in Florida.
That was Star Wars language.
What about California?
I have no clue.
Yeah, we don't have magic bands here. So I'm just wondering how it's gonna work. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
There's got to be something, a piece of this puzzle that we don't know yet, because they have to have some form of ID reader for them to know what our experiences were on there, because there's no other way of doing that unless they figured out some crazy thing.
I feel like they're also going to have interactive things that don't rely on technology, kind of like Knott's Berry Farm, if you're familiar with Ghost Town Alive, where you have to, like, help out, maybe a character in the land with something he's trying to accomplish, like finding something or, following a map to this location. I feel like they're going to do some of that too.
I think that's actually a really good example of how this can go down. And it really seems like they're trying to do more of interactive experience, kind of like interactive horror has been in the past, like, 5 years.
Yeah.
So, like, stuff very much close to delusions, where you're making decisions and you're actually doing things throughout the experience. And I think that's kind of going to be akin to that as well.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you could choose whether you want to be part of the Resistance or you want to be part of the First Order. And that could change your experience. There's going to be lightsabers for sure. And it sounds like they're really trying hard to make it immersive, and that's the name of the game at this point. I mean, we would always make jokes in the past, like take a drink, they said immersive, like that word is the key word. It's the buzzword in the industry. It has to be interactive and it has to be immersive. When is that trend gonna break, where it's like people are like, I don't want to have to run around talking to people, I don't want to have to do these things in order to get this thing and then collect that thing. I just want to go on a ride. I just want to be in a world. I just want to go on the ride.
Well, I think that there is the option to not participate, and that's fine. If you want the whatever token someone might get for completing a task, go on eBay later. It'll be there.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, so you can choose to participate or not. I mean, to be honest, Ghost Town Alive at Knott's Berry Farm,
Not your cup of tea.
I didn't actively participate. I liked watching others participate. I liked watching you, Gabe, participate.
That's because when an actor came up to you, you turned beet red and ran away giggling.
It's so stressful for me. And it's not for everyone. So, that's just how it is. So I think you can choose to participate or not participate. I think you'll have a great time in the land either way.
From all the pictures and the videos that we've seen in the artist renderings, it looks like it's going to be beautiful. It looks like it's going to be incredible to just be standing there. And the fact that this is going to be the first major land to be built in Disneyland for a long time is going to be really cool altogether.
Yeah. Let's talk about the other new land now that's opening.
Yes, this is actually opening up in a month from when we're recording this episode. And it's Pandora, the World of Avatar. And everyone's buzzing, everyone's freaking out, everyone's talking about the rides, everyone's talking about the glowing plants at night and things like that. And one of the new things that actually came out, wasn't officially announced, but Disney released a picture. It showed little mini banshees sitting on branches. And they described it as an experience where baby banshees, or like smaller versions of them, are going to be... are going to choose you. So you're going to be matched with a banshee to take home at a price. Now, the way they worded this in their release
sounds familiar.
Vaguely familiar of another experience not too far away in either of the cases on either coast from Ollivanders at Universal Studios Hollywood and in Orlando. And that's when a wand chooses you. So it sounds literally like Disney said, I like that idea because it makes us money. What's better than a wand? A banshee? Great idea. Let's use the same wording and just make it a banshee.
Yeah.
The idea of being matched with a banshee is cool. Like, that's awesome. You get to take home a banshee. It's like a little animatronic creature.
After you pay for it.
But it doesn't fit within the world of Pandora or Avatar. And if they're trying to build this immersive world and be so detail oriented, why are you diverging from the story just to make money?
Well, it depends on how they do it. I mean, they can make it work. I mean, I know in the movie, forgive me if I'm getting something wrong because it's been a very long time since I watched the movie.
Long time.
In theaters, haven't watched it since. The Banshee doesn't necessarily choose a rider.
But you're matched with a banshee.
A Na'vi.
A Na'vi person is matched with a banshee, and then they can only ride that banshee, and it's their banshee.
So then the very rough concept is there, so they just kind of expanded on it.
I think they expanded it. I mean, I don't have a problem with them writing new things for the land.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think the fact that it's so unbearably close to the wand experience at Ollivanders bothers me just a little bit. It's a tool to make money, and I don't think it's going to be as good as Ollivanders. I simply don't.
It won't be for sure. There's not going to be as high of a demand. But honestly, I think they probably had this little banshee creature that they were trying to sell, and they were looking at it and like, no one's going to buy this unless we hype it up. So this was their hype up for it. Exactly.
And there's a little bit of lore behind it, but nothing like Ollivander's wand choosing you, like many of us read and so many of us watched in the film.
They recreated the scene from the movie. They can't do that here.
It's an experience you cannot get anywhere else, and I don't think this is going to live up to that expectation of what they're expecting it to be. Honestly, I see it going away after a while.
It might.
I feel like the people who get those Banshees early on are going to be lucky, because I don't know if that many people are going to do it and want to pay for a Banshee. I don't think the fan base of Avatar is as big as Harry Potter.
Oh, definitely not.
And the long-lasting ability of that brand, I don't think matches anywhere close to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So I just don't really see it lasting that long, to be honest.
No, I agree.
So
We'll buy one, though.
well, we'll definitely buy one, which we are. Nikki had mentioned we're going to Orlando in October. We just planned our vacation because somebody told me, Gabe, you never take vacations. So I said, oh, I'm taking another one. Let's go to Orlando. Which we went for a honeymoon, which was a vacation. But, I mean, this one is like a literal vacation where we're not spending it every day in the theme park. We're going to Orlando. We're going to go to the Universal Studios park. We're going to go to Islands of Adventure. We're going to do Halloween Horror Nights. And we're going to visit Pandora over at Animal Kingdom. And then every other day is going to be by the pool.
And then 3 days in the pool with a drink in my hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the lazy river.
Yeah.
So that's our plan. It's booked. It's ready to go. We're pumped.
Yeah.
So that pretty much sums up the news today. I mean, there's some good stuff going there.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So we should have a guest arriving here anytime soon.
Yeah.
There's the knock at the door. It always happens right in the middle of the sentence. Nikki, go get the door.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, I heard Gabe saying a sentence and thought I should knock on the door halfway through it.
Yeah, no, that always happens. I don't know why.
My God, how you guys doing?
Doing great. Thanks for coming on the show. Come visit us.
Oh, of course. I love coming by. This is my first time, and I'm really, really excited about being on the podcast and just seeing your place.
Thanks, man. And Kevin, tell the audience about yourself. What do you do? What do you love?
Awesome. Well, my name is Kevin KALBFELD. I'm a show designer at Rethink Leisure Entertainment. We are a theme park design firm. We do some pretty awesome stuff. We're right now working on the 20th Century Fox World Dubai Park, and just loving that.
It's pretty awesome. You're playing it down. He's talking about like it's normal everyday stuff because it is for him, but I mean for us it's like oh my God.
I just try and play it down so I don't sound like an asshole. But yeah, I love it.
You don't sound like that at all.
Oh, thanks, Gabe.
No.
No, it's awesome. I love it, and I've always loved theme parks. Loved them since I was 10. And always.
It's a very specific age.
Because I remember I did a book report on Walt Disney.
Oh.
And
I was like 10 years old.
Yeah,
why that?
It's a moment. It was a moment. I was doing a book report on Walt Disney, and I was like, whoa, this place is crazy. And the craziest thing is that when I was like an infant, I was afraid of roller coasters, costume characters, and audio animatronics.
So
I feel like any infant would be, though.
Any theme park.
Right?
Don't put an
Aspect.
infant on a roller coaster.
Who puts an infant on a roller coaster?
Well, I mean, when I grew up, it was that fear came from infancy into my like 8-year-old
Gotcha.
mind. It never stopped. And then it was like, hey, you know all those things you're really afraid of? Aren't they kind of awesome? And then like at 10, it just kind of flipped.
Well, that kind of happened to me too. Like as a kid, I was so scared of horror movies. I never really wanted to do anything with them. My dad showed me it when I was 5, and I was terrified of clowns until I was 15. But now look at me. My whole room's filled with horror shit, and then I have it sitting over there as a toy. So I'm not scared of him anymore. I get a little sweaty palms when I see clowns, though.
I'm still afraid of costumed characters. Not like in Disneyland, but like
the shady kinds, like at Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, the Santa Monica Pier Mickey and Minnie, I steer clear of them.
Like she literally walks around them. Like if she is able to do like a move around them, she will.
I would jump off the pier and swim to avoid them.
You know, I completely understand that. But actually, saying that, you would have hated opening day Shanghai Disneyland because they actually had an issue with the people dressing up in those knockoff characters in their Disney town, which is their downtown Disney.
Oh,
no. Yeah. It's kind of awkward when you go inside and meet the real Mickey Mouse and you walk out and meet Mookie Moose.
Oh, no.
Mookie Moose? That sounds terrible.
It sounds like
terrifying.
in Wally World.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
The moose outside should have told you.
But yeah, that's what I do. That's who I am. Actually, I had the great opportunity to work with, I don't know if you know Leslie Iwerks, who did the Pixar Story documentary. She's right now finishing up a documentary about Imagineering called The Imagineering Story. So like when I think I was 17, 18 years old, I got to work with her as a research assistant and meet, like Tony Baxter, Marty Sklar, Joe Rohde, all these, Bob Gurr, all these.
Did you meet Joe Rohde's Earth hanging off of his
I shook his hand and then shook his earring as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the proper greeting for Joe Rohde. No, and I've just always been fascinated by it, and I just took a trip to Shanghai Disneyland to meet up with my buddy Justin over there. We were like, hey, let's go check out Shanghai.
The bromance, I can feel it from here.
It's too real.
The bromance is real.
It happens. We always joke that it was like we would like just watch walkthroughs of the parks because we're nerds and that's what we do. And we just watch them and just be like, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. And then we were like, oh, it's like a walkthrough in real time in real life, and now we can just bitch about things everywhere. And it was great. We flew out. We wanted to do the rest of Shanghai, the Bund and things like that, but then it was grave sweeping day, so the park was so packed. We were just like, you know what? We came here to do the park. Let's just do the park.
What's grave sweeping day?
It's like their Memorial Day, kind of. It's like their grave sweeping of their passed away or
Gotcha.
they're dead. But clearly they weren't doing it because they were all at Shanghai Disneyland. The waits never got. I like Soarin' was never below like a 250-minute wait. I think maybe it went to 240, and that was it. So it was. They love it there too. I still don't get it, but they love it there too.
Well, anyway, as everyone's listening, Kevin got to go to Shanghai Disneyland. We are both very, very, very jealous of him. Very jealous. But that's going to be the topic today. So we're going to have our trip report of Shanghai Disneyland.
Woo!
Okay, so let's start from the very beginning of your trip.
All right. Well, we were staying at the Disneyland Hotel, the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel, which is their like on-property deluxe hotel.
Okay.
So we did it for like, it was $400 a night, and that's their deluxe. And we were like imagining that compared to like a deluxe hotel at Disneyland, which Grand California, which
those are pretty expensive.
Yeah, like the one that I would be like, no way I'm staying there. Like I've never stayed there.
It's like $600 a night for a standard room
at the Disneyland Hotel, which is what I've seen. I don't know how much. Grand Californian's way too much.
Like 800.
Yeah, it's always like nearing 1,000.
It's
like,
a regular room.
Like I'm like my annual pass is that much, guys. Come on. But I will say it's really nice. It has this big bay window. You look out and you can see the park across the lake, and then you can walk there. In the morning, we walked to the park. Actually, we got there. I had been flying for 14 hours. I had been up for 24 hours straight. And I turned to Justin, and I'm like, how long's the park open for? He's like, another 2.5 hours. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
So you just bought a day ticket and went in?
It's like $70 for a day ticket there.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, if I'm going to be here, I'll spend the $70 and do the park. And it was great.
I guess that's a good point. It's like you flew to Shanghai, might as well just shell out the $70.
Yeah.
Spend a nice 2.5 to 3 hours in the park. Might as well.
It was well worth it.
Closing, was it like the crowd's less?
Yeah, and especially because that Saturday, it was not that crowded, but Sunday, Monday got insane because it was grave sweeping day for the weekend, which is like their Memorial Day. Okay. So it was absolutely packed Sunday, Monday. Tuesday night was pretty empty. Tron was like, a hour wait, which I know it sounds like a lot, but it was like, it's compared to the rest of the week. But that was great. The big thing was the next morning when we got up and we went to the park about a half an hour before opening. And the line was huge because they have a huge line for security, and it is a militarized front. They have...
Oh, really?
Disneytown is owned by this city of Shanghai. Even though it's built by Disney, it is governed by the city of Shanghai.
And Disneytown is their downtown Disney?
Yes, thank you. It is their downtown Disney. So you see the Shanghai police. There's like a police car that they have out there on very crowded days that has their lights constantly going.
That sounds like it takes the magic away.
It does, because you know who's in charge.
Oh, yeah.
So, and on top of that, there's this weird blurring point where you go into security, and they and there's like a line of like, there's the Disney park security and the Shanghai security. And so they go in and they will like, they link arms and they hold you back from getting through security. It's insane. It's a militarized front there, I swear to God. But I would like to say it's efficient, but still, there was not that many people getting in, and it took us about an hour to get in from beginning of security to walking into the park. And
wow.
Yeah, and everyone has an issue for some reason when they get up to the ticket booth, and I think what it is I will say to the Chinese tourists, like, they get it. Like, they get into the park, they have their IDs, they have their tickets ready, because you have to have your ID and your ticket, and they get it. But for some reason, there's a weird something lost in translation where it takes a while for the cast member to then communicate what is needed of them, and then they walk into the park. Like, each guest, it took about 30 seconds to get in. And when you think about that, that is a long time where it should be just pass, ticket, through. So that's what takes so long. Once you get in the park, it's empty. Just because it's such a large park, it can fit so many people that they just disperse everywhere.
So you need your ID along with your ticket just to enter the park?
Yeah, just for proof
are they
of purchase.
Connected? Are they connected in some way? Is your name printed on the ticket? Or
if you purchase the ticket online, or if you purchased it from somewhere else, you have to have your ID with your ticket. Like, I'd have my passport with my ticket when I came in, unless I bought it from the concierge at the hotel.
Yeah.
But my second day ticket I bought online, so I had to show my phone with the code on it with my passport, and they let me in.
So that's instead of the hand stamp dealio that we have.
Yeah, they do not do hand stamps, as far as I could tell. I did not see any hand stamps.
Or how about photos, pictures?
Like photos at the turnstiles, which, by the way, takes forever here as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
You have a family of 6 people. Who gives about the infant?
Yeah.
You don't need a picture of the infant. Let him go in. He just wants to meet Peter frickin' Pan.
Yeah.
Okay, so ID is their equivalent of hand stamping photo,
or keeping track of attendance and people coming in and make sure there's no counterfeiting and things, nefarious things going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of things there that I feel like the Disney was just kind of like, well, here's the park, here you go. And then operations had to be like, well, we don't know how to do a theme park because we've never done this before, and are kind of picking up the pieces and figuring out, okay, how do we do this for the people coming to the park? There's a lot of interesting things. Another thing is, because it was so crowded on Monday, we decided to do the pay fast pass, which actually, to get into the park, it's $72 for the paid fast pass. It's $87. Like, it's more to pay for the damn fast passes than it is to get into the park.
So are there non-paid fast passes and paid fast passes?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the difference between the two then?
The non-paid is like a regular fast pass. You go in, you give them your ticket, you scan it, you get the fast pass, you come back within an hour window. The non-paid one is you pay money for it, and then you, weirdly enough, what it is you take your fast passes. They give you a fast pass to each ride that says you can come back at any time. You keep the fast passes, you keep the receipt for the fast passes, and then right after you leave the cash wrap, or where you pay for it, they make you take a picture on your cell phone with a cast member holding up an iPad that has today's date, holding a very specific piece of merchandise for that hour, and wearing a Mickey hat that says something like the Fast Pass, Paid Fast, or Max Pass, whatever that system is, the Premier Fast Pass. So it's a picture. There was a picture of me, Justin, this random cast member with the merchandise, the date, and the hat, and we had to show the fast pass, the receipt, and then this picture to anyone at any ride we went to that we needed to use these fast passes.
So obviously, do you think people are abusing the system, like trying to bring fast passes from other days?
Well,
using them?
Let me tell you why. We also saw why they need to use it. We were like, we get this, but we didn't see it in practice. The second night we were there, we were going on the Tron ride. We had fast passes for Tron because for some reason no one gets fast passes for Tron, and you can always get a fast pass for it. Oh. No one appreciates that ride.
Weird.
Yeah, right? Like, the line's always huge, but I feel like no one appreciates it for the fast pass. They're always getting like Soarin' is huge there, the Rapids ride is huge there, and then Peter Pan and Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh's the biggest thing there.
Oh my gosh.
Like that one always had a 100-minute wait.
Why is Peter Pan always a huge thing at all Disney parks?
Peter Pan is big everywhere.
Everywhere.
I couldn't tell you. I don't even care for it that much. I'm sorry.
I don't get it either.
Like, it's there, it's fine. I'll do it if it's a 10-minute wait.
Which it never is.
It's about an hour usually.
Oh, always an hour.
90 minutes usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for that. The new magic that they added last summer. That beautiful new magic where I rode through it once and I was like, where was it? It was closed for all the season.
The water's moving down there.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That's cool.
I had to be told that.
Well, I mean, like, then they have like the little animation of them landing on the clock tower and stuff, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but like, it was closed for almost a year, Gabe. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
They closed it for less time to give the interactive queue in Orlando.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So yeah, but with the paid fast pass. So another thing is we were talking about like why did they do that? So we were in line for Tron, giving our fast passes, and there are just like another thing is like people sell fake fast passes or expired fast passes to people in the park. There are people who actually come into the park and sell bad fast passes, bad tickets, and knock off merchandise in the park. But first of all, we were in line for Tron, and there was this this guy who clearly was talking to these like teenagers. It was a Chinese guy talking to Chinese teenagers. Clearly, cash was being exchanged for fast passes. And then he runs them up to the very front of the fast pass line. We've all been waiting for like 10 minutes to go give our fast passing because it's the most crowded day they've seen since opening.
Yeah.
And he runs them up to the front of the line, shoves them into the line, and like almost starts a fight with the couple in front of us. And as well, Justin and I are like kind of like putting our elbows out, making ourselves bigger. Like, no, you're not getting past us. And these guys like should have known something was wrong when the moment the guy had the money, he ran out of Tomorrowland. Oh. But they get to the front of the line and they're told by the cast member, nope, the fast pass was 2 hours old. It had been expired for 2 hours. They missed their window.
That's really crappy.
Yeah, but that's what happens there. So that's why Disney said, rather than trying to up security to get these transactions to stop, they said, well, you know what? Let's just roll with the punches and just sell the fast pass. Let's make money off of this. Yeah. And you know what? It's been a great success for them. I mean, I don't like paid fast pass, but it's not the Disney way. But I will say it is the Shanghai Disney way, because that is not a classical Disney park. Clearly, everything about this park was specifically made for mainland China, and they are sort of trying to go with the flow to figure out what that still means.
Yeah.
Now, please tell me you have that photo with the cast member on your phone.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
I totally have it. I also have photos of, there was this one guy that we saw throughout the day who was selling like those knockoff Walmart Minnie Mouse headbands in the line for Pirates of the Caribbean. And these guys are smart. They find the most dense area of the queue where the security will never find them. And they sell their stuff in these dense parts of the queue and just cash transaction and then go. And then once they're out of merchandise, they leave the ride.
Oh my goodness.
It's the strangest thing.
They should go on the ride.
They should, after waiting that long.
Yeah, right? At least entertain yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're going to be at the park, just be at the park. Just do it. Especially because Pirates is such a good ride. Oh my gosh. Like that thing, I was in awe of that ride.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's really interesting, though. But the weird thing is that it seems like Disney's kind of rolling out the paid Fast Pass system in general because, I mean, as we know, Disneyland is getting the Max Pass system, which we're going to have to pay for if we want to use it at all.
No, but keep in mind, that Max Pass is only $10 a day.
$10 a day, but if you want to add it to your annual pass, it's like what? I don't have a specific number, but it was outrageous.
I didn't see that you could do that.
Do you remember?
You could add Max Pass to your annual passport, and it was a really large amount of money just to add it to have it all the time.
Well, still, if it's $100, you go 10 times, it's paid for.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's excuse me, if it's any more than like $150...
I think it wasn't more than $150.
Well, okay, but yeah, Nikki's right. If you go every day and you want to use it every day, that $10... another thing with that Max Pass, I had just bought my annual pass. I very begrudgingly bought my annual pass. Because I was trying to see how long I could do without it.
Not very long.
It was 5 months. And so I got it, and I got the photo pass on it. Which I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing. Every time I go, I can have photos of me and my friends. I loved that. That was such a great feature.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, $10 a day, you can get full photo pass. And I'm just like, oh, you clearly had no value in this photo pass thing, which devalues my new annual pass. So
yeah,
that's a separate note. That was just another grievance I have. But so back to Shanghai, I guess. We walk into the park, Mickey Avenue. So they did not do a traditional Main Street. Clearly, I understand why. Turn of the century Americana is something that would not be understood in China.
It's quintessential American.
Clearly.
And not China. Not an Asian country like
something that must be done in an American Disney park, but clearly would mean nothing to anyone in mainland China. So their Mickey Avenue is much shorter. It's very small, and it's... I would say is the equivalent of like an architecturally refined Toontown.
Huh.
Okay.
Where it's like everything is based on a character. Like Goofy's toy store is all loony and there's like things popping out and they just tried to do sort of IP vomit. But like I hate to say that because it's like as if someone vomited rainbows like in the Snapchat filter. It's very well done. It's very nice. It was really interesting because it's like you have at the front you've got this funny bank that is Scrooge McDuck's bank, and there's like all these fun, cute little photo ops, like a bag of gold coins that you can take a picture by. But everything was character based because that was that's just something how it is over there. Is I remember working on the Imagineering story. We were talking with people like. We were talking with people like Joe Lanzicero, who was the creative director of Hong Kong Disneyland. And he was talking about how it's different trying to create a park for a Chinese audience because they don't understand so much, the emotional stuff as we do. Like, we have an emotional connection when we think of movies like Lion King and Pocahontas. They understand it more as a brand. They will wear Mickey Mouse t-shirts but not know Plane Crazy or Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
So they have made Mickey Avenue something that is branded characters. And it's very charming. And as an American going there who knows the American parks so well, it was
refreshing?
In a very strange way. Refreshing in a strange way where I was like, I walked in and I felt like I was saying to you guys, I didn't feel like it was Disney magic, but I felt like it was a well-done theme park with Disney intellectual property. I was not sad by that. I was glad of all the international parks, this is the one I went to first, because I felt like there was not much that I could pull back from my previous experience. And I found Nikki Avenue to be very, very charming. You know, even though it's shoved full of characters, I found it to be very charming.
That's interesting that there's not that you would describe it as a theme park that's utilizing Disney IP really, really well. For me, at least, if I were to have gone to at least expecting a Disney theme park, you know, only having experienced Walt Disney World and Disneyland, I feel like that would be kind of off-putting at first.
It was a little bit. I will say it was, because it was
like you're kind of shocked. You're like, what?
Yeah.
This is really
like your equilibrium is thrown off. And then you adjust and you're okay.
Yeah, it takes you time to kind of interpret and kind of choose what you think about it, you know?
Well, I know when we went to Disney World, you were looking for the Matterhorn for like 2 days.
It was just like, where is it? It should be right there. Where did it go?
Yeah.
David Copperfield, come back. Put it back.
Did it work?
No.
But yeah, it was very strange. I mean, on top of that, I was also just bewildered that I even made it to the park. Like, it seemed like such a far-fetched idea when I was like, oh, I'm just going to go for the weekend. You know, why not?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Shanghai for the weekend.
I found a super cheap flight. I found a flight that was going to be just as expensive if I wanted to go visit my friends in Orlando. And I was like, you know what? What the heck? I'll do it.
Might as well.
That's insane. And flights to Orlando are usually like $800. So if you're going all the way to Shanghai for that amount of money, that's crazy.
I found one for $600.
That's awesome. See, I could have gone to Shanghai Disney with you.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't say anything.
I would have done it.
Okay, to be honest, it was when I made the decision, Justin Martin had told me, I'm going to be in Shanghai this weekend. You should come visit. I'm like, yeah. Then the next week, I got sick with this like bad virus. I had been taking like a combination of like NyQuil and honey whiskey to like get rid of it. And like in this like NyQuil drunken stupor, I was like, let me see what the flights are. And I like looked, I'm like, $600? Okay. And then like the next day, it was like waking up after like a night of heavy drinking and being like, I don't know if I dreamed that or it really happened. And I'm like, oh, it really happened. Well, I guess I'm doing this. Best decision ever.
Oh, like what did I buy on QVC when I was drunk?
So after Mickey Avenue, you get to see the castle there, and that castle is just incredible.
It's very far away as well.
What do you mean it's really far away?
Okay, the genius thing is that they did with this is they have this thing called the Gardens of Imagination, and Dumbo and the Carousel are not in Fantasyland. They are in this area of the forecourt of the castle called the Gardens of Imagination, which essentially is a BS way of saying lots of standing room for the fireworks. It's genius. You know how they have it's a huge area that they have that is empty during the day and is just sort of a crossover when you're getting to the other lands. But at night for fireworks, it's packed. And they fit everyone in and everyone has a spot for the fireworks over there. Like, this Gardens of Imagination thing was one of the most interesting things I'd seen in a new Disney park. Where it's like...
brilliant.
It is. It works so well. And during the day, it's an empty place where people sit down and they eat. Because a lot of... thing in mainland China is... You know, they don't want to spend the money on the food in the park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but what they have all over Fantasyland are those huge picnic areas with benches and grass, like real grass, not like AstroTurf, like real grass, benches. So people come in and they bring their own lunches and they eat them there. They're the cutest things ever. Like, these little areas are so nice and they're so pleasant. They're open. They've got trees. They've got places to sit. So
for me, at least, that kind of speaks to Disney Magic a little bit, because a lot of the time, when we're talking about Disney Magic, people think, like Imagineers and rides and architecture and all this stuff. To me, Disney Magic kind of speaks to the moments that they create for people to have with their family and their loved ones and their friends, and sometimes having a little moment to have lunch with each other, to interact and to be with each other, is Disney Magic kind of creating itself there. At least to me, that's what I think when I think about that. And that sounds really nice.
No, I'm on your level, Gabe. I always think, you know, the magic is kind of broken when you start building out the technicality of Imagineering and the designing and all that. And the magic is really, like, I worked operations, and the magic is really when a family has an amazing time getting closer with each other at the parks. I mean, you don't need to find Disney magic at a Disney park. You can find it so many other places, but a Disney park is a place where it becomes very, very susceptible to that family to fall into this great experience of becoming closer.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's what theme parks do in general, which is so great. But really, they made this place for the mainland Chinese, where they have these picnic areas that right outside the park, they have a huge area called Wishing Star Park, which is these long walkways. You can rent those little bicycle cars that you see in like Santa Barbara, and they ride along these huge running paths. And I walked out there midday once to just go back to the hotel to get something, and you really see, because in China, a lot of the families, it's not just parents and kids, you'll see 3 generations in one household, and that's where you'd really see it, where the grandparents wouldn't go on the rides, they'd hang out in the picnic areas, or they'd hang out in Wishing Star Park, and come lunchtime they'd all sit down and have a meal together. And clearly these picnic areas, these little things were built for them. You'd never see that in a domestic Disney park, and I've never seen that in any Disney park or any theme park in general. But really clearly this was, yet again, all these little designs were made for them.
That's one thing about Disney that they do so incredibly well, is depending on what country they end up building their theme park in, it's always so incredibly tailored to that country's culture. And it's so helpful, and it's so nice to see that they're aware of those differences. So they're not pushing American culture on anybody. They're really accepting foreign culture wherever they're building their park at.
I mean, I will say, I may contradict you a little bit here.
That's fine.
Only because I know that there are certain members who have tried. This is the one that I've seen the most of. But like an example of that is when they did Paris. And Tony Baxter, who is the creative director of Paris Disneyland, demanded that they use real brick for the castle. Ultimately ended up being, I believe, maybe other than Shanghai, I'm not sure what the price point was, but the most expensive Disney castle that's ever been built. Because they don't want to see a fiberglass castle, because they can see real ones down the street that are made of real brick. So those are points where they try to be culturally sensitive. If you look at Hong Kong Disneyland, I believe the development was so quick they did not have the opportunity to be culturally sensitive. A great example is Space Mountain over there. So a big issue they had when Space Mountain opened was that in China, you sort of go through, you talk with your family, but you don't really notice a lot of things around you. No one really reads signs. No one really looks at informational videos. This is an issue that I had heard when interviewing some Imagineers for Hong Kong. And they had said Space Mountain was an issue because people wouldn't know what the attraction was until it was too late and they were already on it. A huge complaint that would come to guest relations was not that Space Mountain was too intense of a roller coaster, but that it was, in fact, a roller coaster. So, because you can't see it from outside, they have the same one that we have out here at Disneyland in California. So, an amazing solution was, yet again, I will say Shanghai, they were so culturally sensitive. Their Tron Lightcycle Power Run roller coaster, it goes outside. And I'm sure there were a lot of battles over in Imagineering saying you can't have this roller coaster where, we have
highly themed.
Yeah, highly themed, like, the Sid Mead production design of the EL strips of like light blue with this dark glossy black. Like, you can't have something like that rush outside. Like, it just doesn't work. And at the end, it was like, you know what? It has to be culturally sensitive. People have to know what they're getting themselves into before they actually get into it. So people can avoid it when they know what they don't want to do. And so every major thrill ride, you could see it from the outside.
Well, you rode it. Was it jarring? Did it take you out of the experience when you went outside?
I would say it was jarring. It took you out of it.
Yeah.
But at night, they did a great job because that bubble dome that you go under.
It's super lit.
Yeah, they light it, chasing LEDs as you go through it. Like, it still takes you out of it. It doesn't look like the aesthetic of the rest of it. But, I mean, I'll hand it to Scott Drake and his team who put that thing together, that they really did something that made it more okay. Made it more okay that you could see it from the outside and the inside, and it was just fine.
Well, I was trying to say lit, like the young kids, like, oh my god, this place is lit, like, it's crazy.
You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't try to do that.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking. That's not what I was trying to say at all.
Stick to your generation of slang.
I don't even know what my generation of slang is.
Tubular?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, God, no.
It's not?
No.
That's not 90s?
No, I guess it's 90s, but it's
90s?
more surfer. I'm not a surfer.
Rad?
I'm just saying.
Is Rad one?
Rad.
I guess rad, dope. I guess
Dope.
I like dope. I still use dope.
I still use
Dope's
dope.
coming back.
I still say dope.
I don't understand the new word.
My brother tried to like set a trend of like a slang word for like fresh, clean shoes as crunchy. He's like, those shoes are crunchy. I'm like, Shut up. Shut up.
I had a coworker.
I'm sorry. I know he listens.
I had a coworker use.
I actually like that. I'm using that from now on.
Those shoes are crunchy, yo.
Yeah, because it's so right. When you get a new pair, when you get a new pair of Vans or something, or hell, if you get a new pair of J's, those are crunchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I had a coworker use nope as a verb.
What?
Like, I noped the hell out of there.
See, what I would think is
the meme like on Facebook, like nope, and it's just someone.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Even though I would think it would be like Leslie Nope, like from Parks and Rec. I'd be like, I did something in the style of Leslie Nope.
See,
that makes more sense.
That makes more sense. But he used it as like
I noped her.
I noped out of there.
Oh God, I don't want to nope anyone.
Like the meme of Homer Simpson like receding into the bush.
Nope.
You know.
Oh, that's total nope.
Oh, it's hysterical, but it doesn't translate to verbiage.
You can't use it as a verb. Even Webster's dictionary has not made that a verb yet.
Thank God. Moving on from fashion to verbiage of the English language.
I'm sorry.
The castle itself, is it stunning? Is it incredible to look at? Or is it just like, what is it like to see a castle that intricate and different than what we've seen normally?
I will say, looks amazing from a distance. When you get up to it, you realize the forced perspective is really well done. And from every angle, it looks great. I will say it looks great, but when you get up to it, I'm like, oh, this is about the size of Disney World's.
Oh, okay, so it's that size.
Yeah.
It looks huge.
And it is. And just Disney World's is huge as well.
Yeah.
I will say that. Mm-hmm. But it's about the same size. But it's amazing because there's the boat ride that goes underneath it, Voyage of the Crystal Grotto that goes underneath it. The walkthrough attraction, the Snow White walkthrough attraction that goes through it is fantastic. I loved that. A restaurant inside it, and the meet and greets around the perimeter of the castle. Mm-hmm. So, just that walkthrough, it uses a lot of media and a lot of Pepper's Ghost, a lot of projection Pepper's Ghost.
Okay.
So, and yet again, they pulled out all the stops on this park. Like, there are things that clearly people in mainland China have never seen, and they are blown away by so many amazing things in this park. And I, as an American who know the industry and know the parks out here, was still blown away by them. But yeah, a lot of Pepper's Ghost it was very magical Pepper's Ghost. They did a great job, but it's a post walkthrough throughout the castle where there's no one telling you, okay, now go into the next room. There's no cast member guiding you. But they pulse it with a story. So you walk into the first room, it's Snow White at the wishing well. She's doing something. She's singing the little, song to the wishing well. It's echoing back at her. And then when her business is done and she walks off into the kingdom, then they used fiber optic pixie dust around the room that leads you into the next room. And so much of this park was spoken with visual literacy. Which is one of the Mickey's 10 Commandments from Marty Sklar, is speak with visual literacy. And being there and not speaking Mandarin, not speaking the language of the park, so much of this was designed with visual literacy, where, the pixie dust moves me into the next room. I don't need to understand that something is being said that tells me to go to the next room. Something has visually told me as an English speaker to go into the next room. And that blew me away. Of just how well the park communicated to me as someone who didn't speak the language of the area.
So since you didn't speak Mandarin, so there wasn't ever a moment that you felt kind of left out because of the lack of the language barrier?
Yeah, there are a few times. There was on Pirates of the Caribbean, for example. That's a pretty dialogue-heavy attraction.
Very.
Yeah, and so there were times that I didn't really know what was going on, but, I still loved that experience. It was like... Because even though I may not understand exactly what Jack
I know who you are.
Yeah, it's like, I know who Jack is. He's the hero. Davy Jones, the villain. And I clearly understand the badassery of going in between two fighting pirate ships. Like, that is something that speaks with visual literacy to me. So that was the kind of fun part. And so much of it spoke with visual literacy that even though I couldn't speak the same language as the people around me, we all had a good time together. We were like the drop on Pirates. There's a very unsuspecting drop that they do at one point at the very end, and we're all laughing. We're looking at each other. We went on the Rapids ride, and we're all laughing and joking. We didn't speak the same language, but we're doing hand signs and things like that to each other because it became very obvious to me that there is a language of theme park. Mm-hmm. That is like this experience that we all enjoy. Like by the end of it, it was like I'm looking over myself on the raft ride, making sure I didn't get wet. And they're like, because another thing is they all buy ponchos. Like I didn't see anyone there not in a poncho, and they sell ponchos in the line for the raft ride. And they buy the poncho, they go on the ride, they throw it out at the end.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they do not keep it. So we go on the ride, and it was like they see Justin and I, and we're the only ones not in ponchos, and I see them like sniggering behind their hands and pointing and laughing at us like we're gonna get wet, and we're like, look, we know this is an intimate raft ride built for a Chinese audience. We're going to be fine.
That is theme park nerdiness at its best.
So we go through, and of course we're all fine at the end. And I'm looking myself over, and clearly our new Chinese friends are like thinking, did these white kids get wet? Like, what is this? And we look over, and we're like, I'm looking down on my legs, and I like look up like with a big smile and a thumbs up, and I'm like, we're fine. And they didn't know what that meant, but they gave me a thumbs up back. So I guess they speak theme park and Fonzie over there.
Oh, no.
Theme park and Fonzie. Totally makes sense.
Yeah. So it was like, I realized speaking the language of theme park as well was very helpful. Like going on Tron, that Vekoma ride system, that beautiful system that they built for Disney is so great. It's the most forgiving ride system. It has a 10-second dispatch interval. Like even when people don't understand the ride, you can just keep it going and not make the line short. But because it is a strange ride vehicle to get into, a lot of people do not understand how to get into it. Because, you got to get in, you got to pull down the bar, the thing holds you back.
I'm assuming it's something similar to like Pony Express, except the back restraint doesn't come up on its own. You actually have to pull the restraint this way, and then it kind of flips it up like a lever onto your back. So you kind of have to do it yourself.
Yeah, and Gabe, you're exactly right. But because you have to pull it back, that's an extra step of action on the guest's part that is completely lost in translation.
I guess a lot of guests just assume when go to a theme park they don't actually have to do something.
Yep.
Usually everything is done for them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just they don't know exactly what it is. They just assume they're going to be safe anywhere. Like, another thing is like on Pirates. Kids stand up all the time on Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I worked Pirates in Orlando, and if a child stands up, you stop the ride. Mm-hmm. You pull a stop on that next drop wherever you can, and you're like, please sit down, whatever. They don't care here. If the kid stands up in the ride, they're just like, well, that's just how it is. Ugh. So it's sort of like they have this, we always had this saying in operations that I'm sure a lot of other operations people listening are going to know, that safe D begins with me. Because like safe with the Disney D. So safe D begins with me.
Did they make fun of that a lot?
Where? In Shanghai?
No, just wherever they'd say that saying.
She's making a D joke.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it was weird. It's like, why that, of all things? But no, and their safety did not begin with anyone, because they were just like, okay, here we go. Like, another thing is the cast members were not super magical. They were
just like efficiency people.
Not even. They were just there.
Wow.
There wasn't even efficiency people. They were just there. The efficiency actually kind of hurt me, how low it was in some attractions.
Wow.
But like I said, these attractions were built to be very forgiving. Like Tron, like I said, very quick dispatch interval. Same thing with Pirates. That's a people-eating machine. It's beautiful. A big issue was the raft ride. A lot of people didn't do seatbelts. They just sat down and just went. And so it was like, you know how Grizzly and Cali River Rapids, most raft rides have a circular load station
and they
that is continuous. They would stop it every single raft because people would not put their seatbelts on. And that really lowered the capacity of that ride, because if that's supposed to be a continuous load to make everyone's lives easier. The thing is, every single raft they stopped it. Not once did I see a raft pull through that got to go without them stopping it to make sure everyone's belts were on.
Couldn't that be simplified with just like an easy photo, just on a sign pole, just right before they walk off, just a sign of like a buckle?
Now, Gabe, I will tell you, they had those everywhere.
And they didn't care.
And just like Space Mountain in Hong Kong, it's not understood. It's not something they pay attention to. So you have, yet again, speak with a visual literacy that is obvious. That's something that I learned as a designer coming out of this. And yet again, it was how they built the park. Every little bit of the place made me realize that it was meant for... They were expecting a large crowd of mainland Chinese guests. So the queues, how we... imagine Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey out here. This beautiful themed queue that feels like you're in Hogwarts.
I stabbed myself on one of those poles.
It was too dark.
Really?
I didn't see the rail, and I ran straight into it.
Oh, I've had that before. Oh god,
it hurt so bad.
I had flip flops on. I accidentally kicked a trash can, stubbed my own toe, and scared 8 kids near me. Freaked them out.
At least that was a little satisfying to scare the kids, but I still hurt my toe.
Well, that happened because there was no chain link on it. It was
it was just open.
It was a pole from a line that you could move.
Something you'd never see in Shanghai.
No.
So the line's different there?
Yeah, well, the queues there are just a bunch of switchbacks with minimal to moderate theming. You would never see something like in Indiana Jones and the Forbidden Eye queue, where it's you feel like you're adventuring. It does and it doesn't. Keep in mind, I went to Peter Pan and they had a 100-minute queue that they kept inside the door.
Oh.
Like
Whoa.
the switch, they keep them in, and they don't need. I very rarely saw extended queue other than for Soaring Over California or Soaring Over the World or the Horizon there.
Yeah, Soaring Over the Horizon.
Yeah, so that's and even then they predicted that Soaring Over the Horizon was going to be big, and they had a really well planned out extended queue throughout all of Adventure Isle.
So basically, you can't change it. If it's a shoreline and you want to go on the ride, you have to do all the switchbacks. You have to walk through the whole thing.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, because we were at Pirates. We closed Pirates one night, and it was empty because the fireworks were going on, and we felt like marathon runners because and attractions out here, Haunted Mansion, for example, when the queue is not in those switchbacks out in the back of it, and the one here in California, they will close off certain switchbacks so that people can get into the ride faster, so they don't have to walk as far. In Shanghai, it's not like that, because if there is a way that they can shorten the queue, people will take that to their advantage and just walk through it. And not by any fault of theirs, it's just sort of a cultural
thing.
It's a culture where it's just, well, I see a way of getting there, so I will do it.
They see a more efficient way, they're going to do it. They don't think about who they're cutting in front of.
That's funny.
No,
that's
exactly.
what I think about that way sometimes at our Disneyland. Oh, that one's more efficient. I'm going that way. But that just happens to be because over here, people just happen to be lemmings. They just follow the person in front of them, and they go that direction. So it's easy as like, okay, well, you're going in the left line, I'm going on the right line.
Yeah. I will tell you, before I went, everyone was like, oh my God, you're gonna have such a difficulty with the Chinese guests. And I got there and I was like, the Chinese guests are tough, but so are American guests. It's just a whole new way.
Yeah.
Like the American guests are the ones where they run to you as a cast member and say, you ruined my vacation because of A, B, and C. I'm like, damn, when I was in Shanghai, I saw 8 reasons every hour for someone to think their vacation was ruined, and no one cared. They're tough. They just go through it. And you know what? If someone's wanting to cut them, if you're gonna be if you're not focused, someone's gonna cut you. And if you are, good for you. Like, stop them. I saw some granted, I saw some arguments in Mandarin. I didn't understand what they were saying, but there were clearly some contentious talk in between people of trying to cut and get ahead of people. And I was like, good, people do stand up for themselves, but a lot of people it's just like, oh, okay, that's fine, we'll get there. Some are like, we will get there, and some are like, oh, well, they got ahead, well, I guess I deserve that for losing focus.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was very odd to see that, but eventually you use it to your advantage, because you see it. Like I the last day, Justin had to leave early, and I'm like, well, I'll go into the park until about 2:00. I'll have a half day at the park. And I walked in, and it was like security, and I'm there on my own. I'm like, yeah, I see open areas. I'm pushing through, and I was waiting for someone to like call me out and pull me back, like being like, whoa, young man, none of that here. And like, no one has an issue. It's just how it is there.
Yeah.
And I was blown away in the most like exciting of ways. Like, I saw it, and I was just like, this is so different. This is amazing. I loved how different it was. It was absolutely amazing. And yet again, that park is built for those guests, because the lines, there's no way you could pass in between the railings that separate the queue.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you could pass in between.
Yeah.
They have it filled with propping and stuff that has no more than 3 inches apart, so no one can, jump under a railing to go, meet up with their friends or try and cut ahead of people.
And you said they were rather tall, too.
Yeah, they are regular queue design. It's 42 inches tall, about average for a queue railing.
Okay.
Over there, it must have been at least 4 feet to 4.5 feet.
So for people who can't imagine that in their heads, people who frequent Disneyland, at least, Disney California Adventure, Toy Story, Midway Mania, and the extended queue, there's a little extra room that they end up sending the line through. There's actually quite a high wall in there. So, I mean, to me, that's what I'm imagining.
It's not that drastic. Not that drastic.
Not that drastic. But, I mean, just to associate it with something.
Like 4.5 feet,
people could at least imagine it.
Yeah, enough so a child can't run under.
It's like the height of my mom.
She's taller than that. She's like 5 feet.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, the height of your grandma.
Oh, she's, yeah.
Your Mexican grandma, not the Irish grandma, the Mexican grandma.
See, I do remember when we were doing the documentary and we were talking with some people working on Shanghai that they were like, well, we can't let Nikki's grandma jump the line, so...
it was really important.
Very important.
It's extremely important.
She's feisty.
But speaking of the queues, the rides. The rides are a lot of the big thing that people talk about when talking about Shanghai Disneyland. And I don't know how many rides they actually have there, because I know that like Disneyland and Magic Kingdom and things like that, they have quite a few rides in there. Is there a lot of rides? And then if so, what were some of your favorite ones that you got to go on?
There were not a lot of rides.
Really?
No, I mean, it's an opening day park. I can't get mad at them for not having a lot of rides.
That's true.
But nonetheless, it is probably the strongest opening day park I've ever seen. Yet again, like you can tell where that $8 billion went. They'll say it was 5, but you could tell where that $8 billion went. So even though there were a few of the rides that were surprising, like I had really, really high hopes for Tron. Those hopes were met, so that's good.
That's good.
Because that's really difficult for me. I have really high expectations for so many things that I have high expectations for. I had very high expectations for Pirates. We went on and they were blown even further. Like like anyone who knows me will be like, knows that I am very picky, and if I have high expectations for something, it better be the most amazing thing ever. And Pirates, I felt, was one of the least flawed attractions I've ever seen, because every attraction is flawed. One of the least flawed, like on the level of Indiana Jones, least flawed I've ever seen.
Wow, that speaks a lot.
Even the ride through we saw was beautiful, so I can only imagine what being.
And we're watching it on a stupid computer.
Yeah.
I will tell you, being there in person, they're so they really filled up that ride building. You know, that show building.
They used every bit of space for theming and the attraction. There was no space not used.
And any space that seems like it just, you can see the wall, they project on it, so it looks like it goes on to the distance. And then they do the universal technique of squinching, where when you go by, they actually cater the media to the to the people in the ride vehicle, so that the perspective changes as you go by to look like it goes off into the distance.
Okay.
Anyone who wants to see it, there's this old video. What I mean old video, but a video where they were talking about Spider-Man, where it was like Scott Trowbridge, who's now, one of the leads on Star Wars Land. I believe Phil Bloom is in that as well. A few people talking about Spider-Man and talking about the squinching effect, and you can see Scott Trowbridge with his old ponytail that went like down to his butt almost, and you can see him talking about it. So that's something that they really made use of here on this Disney attraction. It's the first time they've ever tried to do that kind of squinching, other than a little bit here and there in Ratatouille in Paris.
So squinching, sorry, I'm kind of lost.
So what it is, yet again, if you look up the video, you'll see it. Anyone listening, look up the video. They'll explain it better than I do. But essentially, imagine you're looking down an alleyway, and you're on the street and you're looking down an alleyway. If you move to the left of that alleyway, you're going to see a little bit more of the right wall of that alleyway than the left wall, just by where your eyes are because of the perspective, and vice versa. So imagine that instead of that alleyway, it's a flat wall that is being projected on. To make the illusion that there is an alleyway there believable to you, when you move to the right or when you move to the left, they will change the image's perspective to then fit where you're standing, in order to make it seem like that thing is changing perspective for your eyes.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Universal has been doing it since Spider-Man, and I will say Pirates was good. Spider-Man still does it better. I will still say Spider-Man does it better. But they tried, and it really, really worked. There's a few seats where it just does not work at all, but that's with any media attraction. But once you sort of suspend that disbelief and you sort of enjoy it for what it is, you're like, oh, great, this is fine. Another thing is, everyone takes pictures on the rides that they can take pictures on. So
that probably ruins it a bit.
Especially because it's a lot of, flats
media
and screens. So they take a picture, media goes away. There's also a really good Pepper's Ghost effect that they have at the beginning of the attraction. And when people take pictures of it, ruins it completely, because you see the reflection of the glass.
Yeah.
So I will say a lot of people taking pictures kind of ruins Pirates, but it's still amazing. It's still really good.
So it's a Pepper's Ghost at the beginning, because I know exactly what you're talking about. We both know what you're talking about, where it's a skeleton and then it turns into Jack Sparrow, and he's the full animatronic.
Yep.
Which is an incredible illusion.
And it's so simple. Like, we've had that since Haunted Mansion, and they just did it so well. Just, yet again, a good lighting designer. I will always say, a good lighting designer makes or breaks a theme park attraction. It's amazing how much you can convince guests of what is in front of them just with good lighting design. So that was amazing. The media is great. Let me think. Another one I really loved was Roaring Rapids.
And that was the one with the gigantic animatronic, alligator-looking thingamabobber, right?
Yeah, it's Q''ARAC, so it's Karak.
That's the name of the creature.
But I affectionately call him K-Rock.
K-Rock.
We forgot the name of the ride so much during the trip that I'd just be like, oh, let's go ride the K-Rock ride. And I loved it. It was like, the ride is beautiful. It is, the creature is, the lore around the creature is not well understood in the line because, yet again, if the mainland Chinese guests are not even going to read about their seatbelts, what makes me think that they're going to listen to, like a similar to thing, Sala talking about the seatbelts on Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so pleased you're not dead.
Exactly. So it's like the lore is not expressed other than in the scenic, where they have, shrines to him and things like that. And so when you go into it, I would say the Karak figure, it's cool. His body is static, his head moves, and it pivots, it looks, it roars, and you go by. It's not the most impressive figure I've ever seen. It like I said, not a lot of movement, not a lot of articulation other than in the neck and head. But you know what? I loved the lore around the creature. Like, it felt like it was a Shanghai Disneyland's version of the Yeti. And I also loved that they, in a park full of intellectual property, they said our marquee attraction of this land will be something that does not have intellectual property. And it'll be something that is original and fits this land better. And it did.
Oh, that's great. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so did I. That's why I bought like 3 things of Karak merch. And the sleeper hit of the park, the adventure trails. They have this ropes course. If you ever see it in, if you ever go to IAAPA, the International
Dream
Association.
come true.
Do it. It's amazing. International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions. They have their convention every year in December, and they have these like ropes course things in there. I can't remember the company who does it right now. I'm blanking on it. But anyway, this company did their ropes course in Shanghai, and it's like it goes through scenic pieces. They really made it feel like that mountain in Adventure Isle is there. It's full. You can go in it. You can see it from the outside. You can explore it. Justin and I explored things that he didn't see on his first time. Oh. But there was a part where you could actually walk around the main waterfall. Like there's this opening, this cavernous opening in the mountain, and you can choose to either go to the left side of the waterfall or the right side. You sort of walk around this waterfall that's falling into this open cave. And it's difficult. It's tough. Justin slipped, and I thought he was going to die. It was scary, because he dropped like a good 2 feet, and then the thing catches you. But it was very freeing. It was the most interactive experience I've seen in a theme park. It had very low capacity. It was very tough to operate. But I would say if you can get more things like that in a theme park where you, like, I felt like Indiana Jones. Like, this thing is you go on your own, you have your own adventure, and there's like a little bit of safety. But, when you fall for a good fraction of a second, you think, I'm dead. Because you don't know it's going to catch you. So you just go through it. I walked through it. I didn't realize how much I was going to love it. I ended up loving that because I felt like it was a singular experience for me and my friend. And I was able to go on an adventure. I could feel the space with my hands and my feet. I understood where I was, and the adventure was not guided by a ride vehicle. It felt like I was really stepping into the world as my own character and self. And that was amazing in that. So overall, attractions are very, very good. I found overall everyone was strong. Even the Winnie the Pooh, that is literally a lift from Orlando.
Oh, so it's the same. You go into the book, it's the same thing.
Same exact thing, except for now they take your picture in the Heffalumps and Woozles scene.
Yeah. I never really got pictures on rides like that.
In a park that doesn't really care about souvenirs, I don't know why they had it there either.
Yeah, I mean, was there a lot of people looking at their photo and buying their photos or anything?
I didn't see it. I didn't see that anywhere. I mean, Tron had some fun photos of, shooting off on the light cycle.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't see anyone buying the photo. I saw maybe one person in line buying the photo the entire time I was there. And I rode that ride multiple times. As I said, for some reason, there was always a fast pass for Tron.
And speaking of Tron, we talked about kind of like the launch and a little bit of the line, but how's the actual interior of the attraction? What is it like?
It's not that great.
Really?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly. And like I said, it's they built it for this audience. They needed these queues that could hold a lot of people. The guests don't really care that much about the queue. So the queue feels very empty. There's not a whole lot in it. There's a briefing video, a few, decals on the walls, and, some cool Tron lights. But really, the guests care about the lands. They care about the ride. The in-betweens don't really matter to them. So the Tron queue was kind of empty. And not by my means. I mean, there was one thing I loved about the Tron queue is they had a post section where there are 2 post rooms where they put in like 12 people, and then you see, you see these running lights like, okay, cool, I guess I'm going into the computer, And then they have another pulsed room that fits about 12 people. And the door, and there's no cast member there with you. They just say, go up and don't walk through the door. So you walk up and there's a closed door. And they have this one scene where it's like this big projection screen in front of you. And they're like projecting graphics and things on it. And, you know, you hear them counting you down into getting into the grid. And then, you know, once the countdown is done, boom. Projection screen disappears, and it's a glass wall that they've been projecting on the whole time, and you can look down and see the light cycles launching off as if you've just entered the grid.
Whoa,
that's awesome.
That was
really
the
cool.
most themed I'd seen in any queue at that park. It was so well pulsed. I thought it was so interesting to have a 12-person pulsed queue. Really, really clever. So that was great, but the rest of the queue was just kind of lacking.
Yeah.
And yet again, I didn't hold it against them. That's not their fault, because the ride is amazing. The land is pretty cool. And it's just the queues were just something that were just kind of the things to put people while they were waiting for the ride.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting, though, and a lot of people aren't going to think like you think because you work in the industry, and aren't going to think like me because I'm a huge dork. But
I'm a dork too. You know?
yeah, we all fit into that mold. But a lot of people aren't going to be thinking like that. A lot of people are actually going to be thinking, why isn't there more? Why isn't it better? People are going to see it as lacking. And you and I and Nikki are looking at it from a very different perspective of the cultural boundaries of what they were working within, like their confines, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really interesting aspect to a Disney park that we're not used to.
Yeah, and I think an American going to this park who doesn't know the industry like we do or doesn't understand what kind of park this is going to be disappointed ultimately from some of these queues after they see some of our very, like the Indiana Jones queue is amazing, and like
Roger Rabbit
is one of my favorites.
The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is so interactive.
Yeah, they don't have an interactive Seven Dwarfs Mine Train queue there. Their Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is very different in queue than it is out here. Sure, let's talk about that. Let's do a very direct back and forth.
Yeah.
So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train out there, they don't have the Snow White cottage that they took from Fantasyland. Like they don't. It feels kind of empty. And the thing is, it's like I said, an American coming to this park is not really going to care for the queues. They're going to think the rides are cool because they're stuff they've never done before.
Yeah.
But they're not really going to care for the queue. They won't understand what it is like we do. Or maybe they will, I don't know, because some Americans come to the American Disney parks and they just don't even understand what the queue is or the story is or anything, and it just goes over their heads.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, and I'm really confused by that.
I think it's just, you can't please everyone. I think that's just the ultimate thing you have to remember.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in theme parks, like, we strive to make these theme parks with, you know, these deep stories and everything works and it all makes sense, and then people just don't care. Yeah. But it's not for them, it's for us.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is just clueless theme park goers. My favorite story is we were in front of Disneyland, and we were waiting to get in, and people are like clamoring. You know, it was about time for them to open the gates and start the countdown. I heard a guy behind me, and he's like, "Oh my god, dude, I'm so excited to ride Goliath today," and I'm like, "Do you know where you are?"
I hope he was joking.
Just, do you know where you are? What park you're at?
Joking. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I worked at Magic Kingdom, people would ask, where's Hogwarts? Where's the Harry Potter attraction? And I'd just be like, it's like 15 miles down the road at the better theme park.
And then they laugh at you and are like, no, seriously, where is it? And you're like, I just told you.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time I was working it's called PAC. So I don't know, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's essentially like parade and something. It's something control, parade assistance control. I don't know, maybe. I admit that I don't know what it is, but I did a shift when I was on my college program, and I was just standing in front of the castle, just making sure people could get where they needed to go. And I had a mother come up to me with her 2 kids and ask, "So where is the castle?" I'm thinking she means Hogwarts, and I'm like, "Do you mean the Harry Potter one?" Like, she's like, no, like the Walt Disney World castle. And I'm like, I pointed right above me because I was standing under it. I point above me. I'm like, "This is it." And she says, "Oh, is that it?" And I'm like, what
do you mean that's it?
What do you want? Is that it?
Then don't go to Disneyland, lady.
Yeah, jeez.
Or Hong Kong.
Oh my gosh.
For now.
Oh, for now, yeah, that Hong Kong castle. That'll be fun. I can't wait to see that thing.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have a unique castle there.
Yeah, and another thing was the unique castle of Shanghai, is how unique it was. I really loved that. It was such a great icon for the park.
Then when it comes to like entertainment and stuff like that, what about nighttime entertainment, parades, things like that? Because I've seen pictures of their fireworks show, and it looks phenomenal because they utilize the projection that they do at Walt Disney World on their castle as well. You know, they have a Frozen section, a Beauty and the Beast section, things like that. So
yeah, I'll admit we missed the fireworks show.
Oh,
we got there an hour and a half before the show began. Like, let's find a spot. We were an hour and a half before the show began. We found an okay spot. And I'm like, I'm not sitting here for an hour and a half and waiting to see, a show where there's a tree blocking my way. So I said, let's just go do rides. I'm not a fireworks guy. But we did see the castle show, which has the biggest cast of any Disney castle show I've ever seen. Like, they clearly filled that thing up. That stage has lifts. It has trapdoors.
Wow.
It's a big stage.
Yeah, it's very intricate for a castle show. It was good. I enjoyed it. And they use the water and things like that. They have the fountains out front, so they use those. The Pirates of the Caribbean stunt show. Fantastic.
Ooh.
I really love it.
Stunt show?
There is an indoor Pirates of the Caribbean stunt show, which was made by the same creators of Waterworld over in...
Oh my god, that probably means it's amazing!
Waterworld is my favorite thing ever. If they take it down to build Harry Potter, I will be sad.
Right? I love Diagon Alley, but if they get rid of Waterworld, I'm like, that is a travesty. You cannot do that.
I agree with you 1,000%.
It is a landmark attraction. Don't get rid of it.
I would literally cry.
I'd be so sad. It's the best stunt show I've ever seen. I will say I love Pirates, but this was still Waterworld's still the best.
Still better.
I love Waterworld. It's incredible.
Oh my God.
There's a reason why it's been around for 20 years.
Oh, exactly.
20 plus years.
And it has the highest guest approval rating of any attraction at the Universal Hollywood Park.
Because there's a guy who falls down on fire. That's awesome.
It's so good.
I've seen it so many times and it never gets old.
We literally do it every time we go.
We do, because I insist upon it.
They should bring back Slaughter World at Hollywood Horror.
Oh, no, I didn't like Slaughter World. I'm not a horror guy either, no.
The only reason why is just because they need more crowd attractions.
They make the queue maze now.
Okay, moving back to the Jack Sparrow show. It's not Waterworld. It's not a Universal episode, Nikki.
No.
Sorry, it's my favorite thing ever.
It's okay. I'll come back for a Universal episode. We can talk all about Waterworld for an episode.
He's probably actually not going to leave. He's just going to sit in that seat
we'll just start
till we record
We'll record 8
time.
episodes right now. Just to
record straight through and just start chopping them up.
Okay, Pirate Stunt Show.
Yeah, it was great. It's an indoor stunt show, so it's supposed to look like you're going to see these pirate players. Because Treasure Cove is this Caribbean city that's been taken over by the pirates. The ships are in the harbor. They've painted over the signs. It's so much fun. And the show is great. Like, it's so much fun and stunts. Have you seen that iFly system that they have over at Universal City Walk?
Are you talking about, like, the tunnel fan thingy?
The indoor skydiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used that in this show. There is a fight between two of the characters on one of these indoor, like, skydiving machines.
How the heck does that even fit within the theme?
No, I'm not gonna say.
What? We have to see it.
I mean, should I say?
Should
I not?
Explain to me how that even works.
At one point, the British officer character comes in to arrest Jack, then orders cannon fire to blow out the back of the theater, and you see with this really great projection in this blown out theater now that lights go off and you see, oh no, this is the backstage. And it's all been blown up, and you can see out into the water, and you're on the coast, you see all the water, and then at one point there's been like talk of like a typhoon, like this horrible wind and rainstorm is coming in, and you see at one point everyone stops because you hear this thing, and you see a cyclone coming in, and they make it as if the cyclone has come into the building, and Jack is trying to evade this guy, and the British officer is, one of those kind of guys who's just like, he will die to capture Jack Sparrow. So Jack falls into the typhoon in the room. This guy jumps into it, and they're fighting, flying up and down, and everyone thinks it's done with wires, and I'm just like, no! It's so cool how they implemented this technology into this indoor stunt show.
That's
awesome.
Really freaking cool. Now, question, was this show in English?
No, all Mandarin.
So how did you know? How did you know what was going on?
They speak with great visual literacy.
You didn't see. You knew it so well. I was assuming you had like a headset translator. It
seemed like you had a translation, or they had spoken English.
No, they do a great job, and that was the one where I had the hardest time because they speak all in Mandarin. There's gags and things I didn't get. But there are sight gags that they did that I completely understood.
Yeah. There
were little things in the show that I completely understood, like the big idea of the show. I completely understood.
Okay.
So they did a great job with that. Kudos to that team to making a stunt show that spoke to me as someone who had no idea what they were talking about.
Do they have anything like that, like a translation, like?
No, I didn't see that anywhere. Okay. Like how they have out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know that Ben, our friend Ben, went to Tokyo Disney Sea, and they had kind of like a earpiece thing that allowed people from other countries to kind of understand what the park was. Yep. It would describe to you what the location was and the story behind it. And
well, I mean, they do that out here. Country Bear Jamboree. A lot of the shows have those little the whisper units that you put on the ear, and then they they work off of RFID and they tell you what's going on in in your area when you're just in a specific show or maybe even a specific ride. But no, none of that was there. And honestly, as a foreigner, I don't think they needed it. I was totally fine. I got everything. I understood it all. Another show we went to go see was the Tarzan show.
They have a Tarzan show too?
They have a Tarzan show at Adventure Isle, and it was very...
Does it involve roller skaters and
No, it is not like
stuff?
the Animal Kingdom one.
Okay, just question.
No, it was more like a mini Cirque du Soleil show.
Interesting.
Like flying, like Tarzan and Jane flying around on silks and rope, and it felt, and it was yet again a huge cast. Like I don't even know how Disney the operations is able to pay for all these amazing performers. Like there were so many moments in it that I was just in awe. Like I was like, we walked out and I turned to Justin and I'm just like, we just paid for a theme park ticket. Why wasn't this extra? Like it was so good. The shows were absolutely amazing. Like I said, the castle show was good. Pirates, Tarzan, the parade was fine. The parade was a classic Disneyland parade. Not much here, not much there. I think and the thing is like a lot of the princes and the princesses, like the face characters, are either they're Western.
Yeah.
So it's like because they want to make them look more like the characters that they portray. Even though in the stunt show, the Jack Sparrow is Chinese. He's a Chinese stunt actor. So there was like this line where they like the face characters all had to look Western, while it didn't really matter if they were in the show because they just fly by. Like we saw Chinese Tarzan and Chinese Jack Sparrow. But when we were in the parade, Flynn and Rapunzel go by and they're clearly Westerners. And Justin and I were very excited. It was fun, upbeat sort of parade. And I'm like waving at Flynn and Rapunzel, and I'm pretty sure I got a thumbs up from Flynn Rider just for being an American. He looks over at me and he's like, he gives me a point like, hey, you, we know each other now, and gives me a thumbs up.
Inside he's just like, oh, thank God.
which is very funny, because a lot of the cast members there, when they'd see a Westerner, especially at some of their ride vehicles, there was like a bit of relief. Because with the Tron ride vehicle, they at least knew we know what a good theme park is. Uh-huh. So they would see us and get in the Tron vehicle, and they would always be very attentive with some of the other mainland Chinese guests who didn't understand how the vehicles worked, and they'd be like, okay, do this and this, and they'd push it down, or they'd either be attentive or most of the time forceful and be like, this is how you do it, and just shove them in. So with us, they would see us and not even care. They would just be like, not even attentive to us, like, these guys know what's going on.
What's interesting, just mainly about your visit in general, is not the incredible rides. It's not the difference in the park. It's the culture.
Oh yes,
the cultural differences and just the cultural divide and having to understand from visual cues as opposed to having somebody tell you. And especially being an American, we're not used to that. We're used to being the one that it's targeted. We're targeted.
I feel like most Americans, if they go to a theme park in a different country, they're still going to be in the mindset of it's going to cater to them. Yeah. And you cannot think like that.
And it's honestly, it's not an issue. As long as you, like I said, you speak the language of theme park.
Yeah.
You get through it. And that ended up being a very communicative language where, like I said, you guys know me. I'm not a super Disney foamer. I call them out. I'll say it right now. I'm not a great fan of Guardians Breakout. Okay. I'm definitely much more in the praising of Universal than anything else. But I went to this park and I begrudgingly had to kind of hand it to Disney and be like, they did their research. This is a great theme park for mainland Chinese guests, but also speaks to me as someone, not as an American, not as, a Westerner, but as someone who is not a part of this culture. It spoke to me with absolute visual literacy, so I could enjoy it just as much as they did. And because of that, we'd go on rides and we'd have fun with other people who didn't speak the same language as us. We would go into experiences and we wouldn't speak the same language, or maybe we would speak broken Mandarin or English back and forth to each other. Mm-hmm. And yet it all felt very together. That was the Disney experience. If I could say that, is when you talk about a Disney experience, it is the magic of people coming together and having fun together. And so with this park, I felt that was where the experience was. It didn't feel like a Disney park because I don't walk down the street and hear, the turn of the century music coming out of a window. It's because I was able to sit down with people who were from very different places, a very different world, and spoke in a language I did not understand. We're able to sit down and we're able to have a great time together.
Yeah, and that sums up this episode pretty dang well, honestly. Yeah. Is because, everything you just said. You said it so much better than I could. Like, I was just about to be like on this nice little tangent and be like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And then you just said it. So it was great. It was perfect. You said everything that I wanted to say because it's 100% true. And the Disney magic isn't the rides like we said before. It's about the experience with people and being able to connect with someone else who shares nothing in common with you other than being a human being.
Yeah. Is
pretty incredible. And being able to do that through a theme park and enjoying it together. And that speaks so much. And for you, this is interesting because it's all about learning too, because this is your industry. Mm-hmm. Learning new things that you would want to incorporate later, or things that you would want to change, evolve, drastically, improve. So that's really fun too, and that's an awesome aspect from your trip. So thank you so much for coming on and talking all this stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude, thank you for letting me talk at you guys.
Talk at us, not with us. No, it ended up being a much deeper conversation a little bit than normal theme park banter turns into. You know what I mean? And it's refreshing. It's refreshing. So thank you so much for joining us. Do you have anything you want to plug where people can find you or anything? Do you not want people to find you? You're going to hide in the shadows?
No, I'm pretty much off the grid, so no.
I don't use credit cards.
No, I hope I'm able to come back and record another one.
You're always welcome with us.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much.
It was really wonderful having Kevin come on the show, and now I just really want to go to Shanghai Disney.
Yeah, it just made me really sad that I didn't get to go.
I know.
But I'm happy for Kevin for him being able to go. I don't want to sound jealous. I'm not jealous. Well, I am jealous. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that he went. He got to have all the fun experience because I know that, visiting these new parks really expands his horizons with regards to his actual job.
Yeah.
A lot of that helps him, see how different things work and how he can adapt to the environment when he's doing something to that extent, which I have no doubt in my mind that he'll end up doing something like that because he's an incredible guy. So.
Yep.
So, thank you everyone for listening to this episode. It was quite a long one, to be honest. Sorry, usually we try to keep it to around an hour. It made it to an hour and a half, but I'm sure it was worth it. Full of so much fun facts and experiences and all the shows and the rides, and it was a good time. So thank you so much for everybody for lasting through this one with us. And let's tell you where you can find all of our stuff. You could find us at themeparkduo.com. You can find us on all of our social media.
Like Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, and Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. We're all over the place. When we're at the parks, we like to go on Periscope a lot and just make it feel like you guys are there. And also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star written review on iTunes. We actually had another one. It's our 11th 5-star written review. It's incredible.
Oh, yay. People like us.
Yes, people do enjoy us, but I'm sure there's an equal amount of people who are like, those people are annoying.
Oh, those people don't have to listen.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
No, but we got a 5-star written review from 91 Reasons, and it was titled An E-Ticket Podcast. Thank you so much. We know who that is. That's Jeff Tucker from 91 Reasons, works at Knott's Berry Farm. Incredible guy, incredible family, incredible show. Make sure you look him up, 91 Reasons, on iTunes and wherever you can find podcasts. He always talks about his life story, which is always really compelling, and it really makes you feel like he's in the car or in your headphones, wherever you are, like he's talking to you. Like, you're the only person in the room, and he's telling you these personal stories. And then there's the times where he has his family on. You get to hear all the eccentric stuff that his family does, because each one of them is a character upon themselves. Rachel loving all of her Jaws stuff. Then you got Austin liking chicken strips. And then Luna, who's always in the background somewhere. I don't know where he is usually. And then there's Josie from the Taco Clan. I don't know. And
what?
Then,
where are you going? Oh,
that's something she says. Like, in every episode, she's like, I'm Josie, or I'm Jose from the Taco Clan or something. I don't know. I have no clue where that came from. I'm super confused by it as well, just as much as you are, and probably just as much as Jeff is, but that's a thing that she says. So make sure you go check them out. They're so much fun, incredibly nice people, so make sure you listen to his show, 91 Reasons. And Nikki, can you tell everybody where to follow you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at NikkiM_313.
And Nikki had a stroke.
NikkiM_313.
Good job. And you can follow me at Laker793 on Twitter. And remember, guys, there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See ya.
thanks for riding with the Theme Park Duo. Make sure to gather all your belongings before the end of the podcast. Bye-bye.